Borderless is a design practice. We look at the intersections between architecture, landscape architecture, infrastructure, urban planning, community design, and civic participatory and engagement processes. We believe very strongly in the collective as a guiding principle. We create spaces in community with community. In 2013, nearly 50 Chicago public schools shut down, the equivalent of 3 million square feet of building space, over 100 acres, distributed among 25 neighborhoods in the west and south side of the city. The closing of schools is just the tip of the iceberg of larger inequities that brown and black communities are being impacted with. So we asked ourselves, can we bring visibility to this issue? One of the projects that we worked on for several years now is at Anthony Overton in Bronzeville. We wanted to take advantage of the time in between the closure and the redevelopment and keep it active in some way. One of the first design installations that we created at Overton was a 90 by 120 feet map of the city of Chicago and the parking lot. We asked everyone who came to our community event to identify what neighborhood they were from and to stand on top of that. So this map becomes this landscape of people and maybe inspire them, like maybe you can do something like this in the closest closed school to your neighborhood. It was really beautiful to see it not used as a parking lot and more as a community space. I was born in Chihuahua, northern Mexico. The name Borderless, the name of our practice, comes from that resistance of understanding that as someone who grew up in the border region, those barriers don't really exist. It also becomes this excuse to talk about removing barriers from practicing. So as an urban designer, I can navigate between understanding buildings and landscapes and infrastructure and processes and planning and zoning and all these things that influence built environment. And I think we need to reevaluate our attitude towards reuse and thinking of the impact, the environmental impact, the social impact, the cultural impact, the economic impact. Preservation, in a way, needs to become a broader conversation. It's not about the brick and mortar anymore, and thinking like, what are the things we're preserving and why? And how are we willing to make these decisions together? I would like my contribution to moving preservation is how do we create a shared energy? How do we get everyone excited and feeling ownership and willing to invest in a collective way to shape the spaces they want to see?